Welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Timeout with your host. I'm PeeZee. And today we're going to touch a few things about the preseason, as well as what to expect with our starting five. A couple of things from the WNBA, as well as the NBA. It's a Freestyle Friday today, and this is coming to you straight from the Unleashed series. First of all, let's talk about the preseason. The Sixers went up against the Brooklyn Nets and looked like a team that was trying to glue. They looked like a team that had been playing for several months, even though it's only been a few weeks. I enjoyed watching the fun, the smiles, and the laughter from this group. Much different from what they looked like when they played the Boston Celtics. It was almost like they were having fun, like they were enjoying making plays and who can get to the rebounds and who can trip up the other team as far as defense goes. And I, for one, am here for it. I enjoy it. I love it. You know, I'm a huge advocate for a defensive-minded team, and this is where Nick Nurse seems to be his focus on this year, is getting them ready to go up against hard teams, difficult teams. It's going to be difficult on the East Coast because of the different acquisitions, with Cat being there, Damian Lillard's here on the East Coast, among some other powerhouses like Donovan Mitchell. To me, looking at this team from a distance, it looked good. On paper, it looked good. But seeing them glue a little bit more, especially with the rookies, with Boda, with McCain, with Dalton, it looked really cohesive. They're all battling for position. They're all battling. But it's not a bitter battle. It's a congratulatory battle. Like, okay, if you're going to get 3 rebounds, I'm going to get 4 rebounds. If you're going to try to go for 3 steals, I'm going to get 4 steals. Like, it's not a bad time. It looks really fun out there. I'm the one enjoying this. Tyrese Maxey is always standing out. He's always leading, and that, to me, is the biggest change I see in him so far. And it's just the preseason. I hear him out there talking. I see his directions he's giving. He's making eye contact. He's pointing. He's pushing the pace. Even when he's on the bench in the second quarter, in the second half, he's still laughing and joking and congratulating these players. It's looking so good. But am I looking at other teams? Of course not. I'm not looking to see what the Bucks are doing or the Celtics are doing. I'm not looking to see what the Lakers are doing. None of that. Speaking of the Lakers, there's been a lot of talk about Bronny, of course. They made history with Bronny being selected in the NBA while his dad is still active. I think that is a historical gem that nobody gets to share but the James family. We are visitors. We are visitors into their legacy, their input into the stamp that is the NBA. He's the 55th pick in the second round, but the media is tearing him to pieces like he's the first top 5 pick, tearing him to pieces. And I think it's unfair. I think the mainstream media is just looking for things to say. They are being brutal, real brutal. And it's the preseason. So can you just imagine what they're going to say about in the regular season? If his father is going to join him on the court, is he going to play cigar time? You know, what is going to be? But what would you expect from a 55th pick in the second round? Honestly. I watched a Gilbert Arenas podcast a couple days ago, and they brought this subject up of him being the 55th pick. When was the last time anybody talked this much about the 55th pick. Never in NBA history or the history that I can remember this has ever happened. And I get the reason why they're talking about it because he's LeBron James' son and it's historic. It is monumental. Will it happen again? It could potentially. You never know. These young players, I mean, look at Jason Tatum and his son, Junior, or Deuce is what they call it. You never know what can conspire from that. But LeBron James and Junior, Bronny James, are the first. That nobody can take that from them. That is going down in NBA history. If they win a chip together, that would be even more of a monumental, historic plateau for them. And I'm here for that. I am really excited about this season. There's nothing more that brings me joy than watching basketball. I'm watching good basketball. Like, players are going to come at Bronny. They are not playing with him. They gonna come at him. And I'm not talking about veterans. I'm not talking about 4 or 5 year players. I'm talking about rookies. There's rookies that are the 8th pick, the 16th pick, and like Jared McCain. These players are playing their heart outs. And the media is talking about them. Fine, good, no problem. Let our wins speak for themselves. And I like that. I like this class of rookies that's coming in. They don't seem to have a lot of humility just yet. But give it a couple of weeks. They're going to get hammered. And it's not just going to be a Bronny Hammer Fest. It's going to be a Hammer Fest, period. I think that's a way to show these young kids that were superstars in high school and megastars in college or overseas or whatever, that this is the National Basketball Association. There's thousands of players that want to be in this group of elites, but very few get chosen. And if you want to maintain your seat, you have to continue the work. There's a lot of players that have been the first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth, fifth, so on and so forth, that aren't even in the NBA anymore. There's a 2017 number 1 pick that hasn't even been picked up. His rookie contract has gone its course, and he is unsigned right now. If you know basketball, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And I think he is a phenomenal player. I think that he had some issues with the celebrity that comes with the NBA. I think that coming into the situation of the league can be very overwhelming, and I hope that the NBA is setting them up with counseling and all the help that they need, you know. But when you come from a place of working very, very hard to get somewhere and make a name for yourself, and then these expectations fall on you, you can falter. You can take a step back. You can lose sight of what basketball really is, and it's to have fun, to be out there and just enjoying yourself. And that's some of what I think a lot of players go through in the NBA. I don't know. I've never been in the NBA, so I'm just looking in. But I'm not going to tear players apart like the main media is doing. That's terrible. Some standout players has been Kelly Oubre Jr. This guy out here balling. You hear me? He hooping like there's no more hooping, and it's just a preseason. So I'm really amped up to see what's going on. Jared McCain suffered an injury the other night where he fell really hard. I thought the wind got knocked out of him, but it was a pulmonary contusion, I believe they called it, which basically means like some tears to his some not tears like to his lungs or anything, but like maybe some scarring, some overexertion from the way he landed maybe. There was also an injury to Paul George. He had a hyperextended knee. It didn't look too bad. He didn't have any structural damage, so that's good. We probably won't see him against the Bucks. Hopefully we do. He's supposed to be evaluated next Monday. Hopefully we see him. That'll be great. Joel Embiid also said earlier in the week that he will not be doing any back-to-back games, but he wants to maintain his health and reduce the risk of injury. How do you guys feel about that, Drill Squad? Give me some comments. Look up hashtag 10-minute timeout. And let me know what you think about that. Me, for one, my opinion, I always have an opinion. I think that, okay, that's fine. There's what? I think there's like 12 to 15 back-to-back for each team. So, that being said, if he doesn't play in back-to-backs, will that ruin the team? I don't think so. I think giving him the rest that he needs will be beneficial to the whole team as a whole. It's also not set in concrete, so we never know. We never know what type of situation may be going on. I read that they did this to Kawhi the year he won the championship and had that jacked up bouncing ball on the rim that sent them into the Eastern Conference Finals. And it worked out for them, so maybe you never know. Speaking of Kawhi is out indefinitely for the Clippers, which is terrible for the Clippers, but very good for Oklahoma City and for the Sixers, because we got those draft picks. We got 2 number one unprotected, and I think OKC has a 2025 and 26 pick for trading for Paul George. So those can potentially be very, very good draft picks depending on the class that comes in. Also, I would like to mention the G League. We sent Mintz, Fielder, and Tucker to the G League. They were not as productive in the preseason as they probably would like to be, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Last but not least, I want to talk about Danny Green. He retired last week, and he's a 3-time champion. Seemed to be a great teammate. Best of luck and wishes to you and your retirement, Danny. Hope the podcast blows up. Hope that everything that you want to do in your life happens really well, and you stay strong and healthy. The Hall of Fame was also inducted. Congratulations to Vince Carter and company. The WNBA finals. If you guys are not watching these WNBA finals, you don't like basketball. I hear a lot of podcasters talking about, they're not going to watch women basketball because it's boring. Well, you're not watching it for sure, because that's not one word that I would use for it. Even in the derogatory sense, what I say is boring. No, they don't dunk. But you think they going to do the way they be running out fast? Man, bye. They blocking, they snatching, WNBA is rocking, y'all, period. And I'm here for it. So I think it's tonight they play. Is it tonight? I think it's tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember what my notes said. But the Liberty are looking to win their very first championship. And the Minnesota Lynx are trying to win their 5th. So get connected to that. It should be nationally televised. And with that, you guys, thank you for joining me for PeeZee Unleashed 10-minute timeout. Look for these different episodes. Check me out at Hot Topics. There's also a cast that I'm doing as well. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blast. Take it easy. And don't forget to subscribe. Make some comments. Hit me up with that hashtag. Hashtag 10-minute timeout. Hashtag PeeZee Unleashed. And hashtag real ones. See you later, guys. Take it easy. And be kind.